But it looks like the Banshees are just going to kind of chill out on the side and not really be useful, which will allow Discorax probably to get... Oh, there goes that missile turret. Nice. That missile turret should definitely finish before those two Banshees get up there, which is going to make these Banshees pretty much useless. That's sad. Banshees are not supposed to be useless. They do amazing amounts of damage and are a lot of fun unit. And fly in, missile turret, and chased away. We'll see what he decides to do with those Banshees. Possibly add them into his army. Banshees with an army of tanks and marines is a very good addition, as you can do quite a bit of damage. But meanwhile, you've got this SCV just kind of patrolling around the watchtower, seeing what he can see. Alright, and do we have a small push coming out? No. But looks like he's going to use that Viking to try and take out those Banshees, and he is going to spot those with that rally point. And we'll watch those get taken out. Yeah, shoot those Banshees. Kill them. Yeah, get them. Come on, Discorax, kill the Banshee. There goes one Banshee. And looks like he's going to get that second Banshee if he chases it long enough. As they do have the same movement speed in the air, 2.75. So he might not be able to catch it, depending on where that Banshee's moving to. We do have a sizable force coming out here of lots of Marines, lots of tanks, lots of Vikings, and a planetary fortress in his natural. Typically for Terran, you don't really need a planetary fortress in your natural, especially in a TVT matchup, because tanks can just siege out upside your natural and shell it, and the planetary fortress is going to do no damage. Getting an orbital command is definitely the safer choice to go with. As we do now have both players working on getting their upgrades going on. We do have +1 attack, +1 defense going up, as well as getting more Vikings and a Raven coming out for Discorax. So we'll see what he decides to do with that Raven. One thing I like to do with Ravens is you fly them into the base, throw down a couple auto turrets, and fly away. Does quite a bit of damage. Also in these Viking on Viking battles, one Raven can help turn the tide, even if you're outnumbered in Vikings, just because you drop a point defense drone and it shoots down the Viking missiles, causing your Vikings to do superior amounts of damage. But it looks like both players are just being absurdly passive. And of course, by saying that, Blue decides to move out, flying his Vikings in first, it looks like. See what they can see, and then we get the tanks going in there. Just kind of get support, so it looks like he's going to set up right outside this base here. But he is taking quite a bit of damage on this one tank. As now the Vikings come in to see what they can see, and he's going to get a lot of damage shelled on these first couple of units. A lot of Marines taking severe amounts of damage, as he does now have a tank lifted up into the base, but is getting shelled by even more and more tanks. Did manage to take out that factory, but his entire force that he elevated it up just got taken out. Meanwhile, Medevac's flying over to the back, and it looks like, yeah, that Medevac's going to get taken out before it even, only when it gets one unit taken down. Medevac's flying away. Meanwhile, we do have those 4 tanks sieged outside of his base, but lost his entire infantry support, except for this one lonely Marine with 0 kills. 1-1 right now on the infantry units for Blue, 0-0 right now on the armored units. Look at Discorax's base, 0-0 and 1-0 right now. We do have 7 Marines now coming out for Blue, as he does have that one Viking, which I believe managed to take out the Banshee. Yep, I have not seen Mr. Banshee. We do have 2 kills on that Viking, so yep, it looks like he did manage to take that out. 1 Medevac, 1 Marine just kind of chilling out in the middle of the map. As we do now have him having to rebuild his forces. His supply is currently 9-1 and 96. Throwing up 2 more factories down here at the natural. And looks like he's going to be getting ready to pump out some more units. Definitely would like to see this Raven be used just a little bit. Just fly down, throw down, do some damage, and leave. But as we do have a severe oversaturation here at the natural, so we should definitely think about expanding again. Especially after that first attack, he should definitely have, since he did so much damage, just expand. Even with as much money as he has, double expand to these bottom bases. Get those saturated up, build lots of factories, lots of starports, lots of barracks, do as much damage as possible. We do have the singular Scout Viking flying out as well. Definitely probably don't want to take this base since it is between the 2 players, but definitely could expand to this gold base safely as it's not being scouted at all. Just take the long way around. Set up and just basically, yeah, just take that base, get it saturated, do lots of damage. Definitely be able to macro up a lot faster. Even if he loses his army in a couple of battles, he'll be able to regain it a lot faster. We do now have Discorax, who's got his Banshee out. And definitely keeping a lot of his units on the high ground just in case. I would, if I were him, just kind of put a spotter out here and move the army down here, right on this little dip in the ground, and just hold it there, just so that way it's safe for this natural, because he's got a lot of his supporting units up high, and mainly just the tank and cover here. But you can definitely move an army up through here, start working on this natural before the army gets, and get all your tanks basically into position first. He does have this one Banshee out here, which isn't going to be able to. Well, actually, if these 4-5 tanks move out on their own, this Banshee's going to get amazing amounts of damage done. But it looks like they're gonna, yeah, spots him. Takes out one tank, and this Banshee's definitely going to be killed before. Nope, gets away. Lots of Vikings coming though. Yep, looks like that Banshee is going to get away as he is continually making more Banshees. And we do have a lot of Marines down here, as he does have all those barracks is producing Marines at an alarming rate. But currently sitting at 1,100 minerals. He's got a lot of money, could definitely be building more and more units. As we do have that one tank getting taken out, and that Banshee does get taken out pretty fast. But that wasn't a hero. We got a new Banshee in production. Alright, Hero Banshee did get taken down, as now the supply depot is being worked on. So definitely a typical Terran versus Terran game. You got your Marines, your Medevacs, your tanks, and your Vikings doing as much damage as they can. There goes that point defense drone to take down those, keep those Vikings from doing anything. And now the point defense drone gets taken out, and the Vikings get taken out. Now that Banshee's going to get taken out, and meanwhile the tanks are being pushed back. So we definitely have a jockeying type battle, tank on tank. And Blue's got this far superior positioning right now, as his tanks are sieged on the low ground, being able to hit these buildings. Discorax really can't get into position, so he's definitely going to be sacrificing the starport, as we do now have these tanks here sieging up. Definitely should get a good scan going, so he can definitely see a little bit further than those tanks. He is working on taking out a lot of that infantry right now. As they were dropping out of that medevac, they weren't able to do too much damage. Looks like he did manage to get all of those infantry units taken out yet again. But all that's left is 3 tanks, and he's definitely going to have to retreat with those. Meanwhile, sitting down here, 2 more barracks is going up. So if we look, he's got 5 racks with buildings, and apparently this offending engineering bay is in the way, as these tanks are being stuck. So he's going to blow up his own engineering bay, have to rebuild it, and get some more upgrades going on, as we do have these SCVs just kind of chilling with no gas. 1 harvester in this one and 2 in this one, so his gas income is definitely going to be hurting after no time. If he doesn't win this game pretty soon, he's definitely going to run out of gas. And it looks like he's planning on expanding to the gold base, but with this army heading this way, he's going to lose all 3 of these tanks for free. Yep, looks like all 3 of those tanks are getting taken out for free right now, as we do have that Raven in the mix. And there goes the point defense drone. So it looks like, oh, takes out the Raven, and looks like doesn't quite take out the second Raven, but now it looks like it's Discorax's turn to put some pressure on. Supply is currently 124 over 99. Looks like you got a whole bunch of reinforcing units to build up, just with these 2 tanks and the small infantry force for defense. So it looks like Discorax is going to elevator push to the main with his tanks. Get those tanks sieged up. There you go, sieging up those tanks, getting those tanks even pushed even further so we can do as much damage as possible. But that one tank down there was taken out. And it looks like, yep, that one tank is getting taken out, as he is just on a travel path through the base, and it's taken out. But meanwhile, it looks like all these infantry forces are being taken out, as we do have 2 Thors now in the mix. Let's see if we can get those nope, no more medevacs, so he's not going to be able to elevator those up. Oh, it looks like we got some swearing coming from these players. See, Discorax decided to put the tanks on the high ground and siege up, whereas the other guy decided to put the infantry on the high ground. And it definitely paid off dividends, because Discorax is doing a lot more damage right now, as we do have a barracks falling down. That's definitely the difference, is Discorax had his tanks spread out a little bit better, definitely had the better positioning for his army. I hate point defense. It must be point defense drone. Looks like this command center is going to be taken out, though, as we do have just those 2 tanks down here, 3 tanks, 4 tanks in the base, where it looks like he's just getting shelled. It would be nice to see him elevator up some of these Thors. Thors do pretty good against siege tanks, as they have so many hit points they can get up nice and close and start working on those siege tanks, tank some of the fire so that the Marines can get up there and do as much damage as possible. Oh, it looks like BlackHoleSun. BlackHoleSun, the reason you lost is he elevated up the tanks first, got in better positioning. You got too close, took a lot of damage. Meanwhile, we have this door wrecking the base, and this one tank up here with 15 kills, and he does move these tanks into position, and they're getting taken out as fast as possible. But he did manage to take out that one tank. Definitely could throw down an auto turret right here on the center of these tanks as they shell each other to try and take it out. Meanwhile, this door is getting shot by siege tanks as it's just standing out of range. As he does elevator and some more siege tanks. And apparently BlackHoleSun is just very bitter about his losing this game. And it looks like he left the game. Meanwhile, Discorax is having fun just blowing up all of his units. And now Discorax leaves the game. Thank you for tuning into this lovely broadcast brought to you by Ratgoska. This replay was provided to me by Discorax at the StarCast forums. That's www.thestarcast.com. Definitely check them out. Register for their forums. Listen to some of their podcasts. It's a great community. And I'll see you guys later.